Yeah, let's get ready to go. That's right, everybody. It is time for your show with the host with the most. Come on now, I said, are you ready? You know me, I'm your bow with the flow. Yo, it's me. It's Calypso. What it do? What it do? What it do? Oh, it's good to be. There's the man. Woo, yeah. Coming at you. How is everyone doing today? Man, it feels good to be here. It does. We are doing it, ladies and gentlemen. You are coming back to visit Calypso's Lounge, and we are on day 5. That is right, day 5 of Bar Styles. What is Bar Styles? That's simply where we bring you behind the bar for actually owning one. Yep, you get to step behind the bar and see how things are really going. Now, because we're in the process of getting the bar, as you guys know, we can't show you everything just yet. But we are at least reflecting and getting you through the day. And very soon, once we get all of our cameras better set up, you will be behind the bar serving just as soon. So, whew, I love it. That's right. Almost the second week now. This is Thursday. That means that we have, I guess you can officially say that we've owned the bar for about a week today, right? About a week. Let me get you caught up in what we did yesterday for day 4, and then let's get into what we actually did, everything that we had planned. Before we do that, though, shout outs to everybody. Hey, we couldn't do this without you, so I want to make sure that you know how important you are. I appreciate that you guys are here. Stream team, love you guys. I know you guys are in the backdrop. Let's have a great show, shall we? All right. Recap! Here we go. On day 4, just yesterday, we ran into a small problem, and the problem was me. Yeah, it was just the way I was thinking about something. I did a small little issue, and I do mean it was very small. And it cost me about $80 for the business. And in the grand scheme of things, really, it's just $80. It's nothing really bad. We're not like out any product or anything like that. But I did let it get to me. It got my demeanor down for a little bit. Notorious, what's happening, my man? But it did get my demeanor down just a little bit yesterday. It took me about 3 hours. I got here with you guys, and I was in a so much better mood. So I thank you guys. But that was our big lesson for yesterday: was learning how to be patient and graceful with ourselves. We got a lot. Well, I wouldn't say we got a lot of work done yesterday. We actually had a little bit more relaxed time than usual, and that's what caused our problem. But overall, it's all good. Let's get into day 5. Here we go. Let's bring out the list. As you guys know, I like to make my list every single day, every night. In fact, right after I get done talking to you guys, I actually make my list ready to go for the next day, so that way I can enjoy my evening. And check back in the other videos where I talk about why that's so important to us. And I recommend for all you entrepreneurs, there's a good reason, good science behind it. You may want to take a look at it. All right, what is our list to do today? Well, if you recall from day 4, the big snafu that I had to do with sodas at Kroger. Yeah, I bought way too many. I was over anxious. I was eager, so you could speak, or so you could say. And I did some miscommunication, cost us a little bit of money. And on top of it, I missed out on a deal. And that was really what got this whole thing started. Kroger, unfortunately, they have their policies. Good on them. Ain't hating on them. But this was just one of those where the policies didn't work for me and I was a little upset. Didn't understand why we couldn't do something easy. It happens, right? So we had to deal with that this morning. Now, here was the problem. Last night, we actually went to Kroger and we were trying to return some product, and they told us that we couldn't do it because it was so late we had to return in the morning today. Well, I did that. Yeah, it did. We didn't get to return the sodas. Yeah, I know. I should have been sad for that. I actually unloaded 28 cases of soda with Old Dog's help, by the way. Don't want to act like I'm a big old Superman hero. Old Dog helped me out with it, so we unloaded 28 cases of soda. Now, that would have been fine, but we wheeled it up there, and I don't know if you've ever tried to move a buggy with 28 cases, but it ain't overly easy. But I got it up there, and we were talking to the person. They said, "Man, that is way too much. You're gonna have to take it back to the other." I'm like, "You gotta be kidding, right?" And we were just told yesterday to bring it here. Now we got to go to another store that's 24 minutes away from where we're currently at. I was a little perturbed, and I mean a little, because I couldn't be upset. It was my mistake. I need to do what needs to get done in order to fix my mistake. And if that means I have to learn how to walk on coals and jump through a hula hoop built on fire surrounded by acid spitting at me in the eyes, then I guess that's the circus act I got to put on. So I'm perturbed, but we get going. A 20-minute drive, by the way, will kind of cure your perturbum, especially if it's not overly a lot. And by the time I got to the next one, I was hoping it worked. I walked in and I saw this lady behind the counter. She was a nice little girl, probably around 20s. I don't know. I'm not judging. I just know she was young. And I walked up to her and I said, "Hey, I hope you're having a great day. And more importantly, I hope you can help me fix my mistake." And I said it just like that. And I laughed about it because it was my mistake. And I explained what happened. And she goes, "Yeah, we can definitely help you out. Not a problem. Go ahead and bring in all the soda." And I was like, "Yeah, because I left it in my car just in case you couldn't do it." She's like, "No problem." So we unpacked it and we took it in. And I can tell you that she took care of the soda. Okay. Now, normally this is where I would play, "Hey, everybody cheer. We got $80 fixed." And again, scheme of things, not really that important. But we didn't lose money per se. Well, actually, I felt a little bad after the whole transaction. Hear me out. Here's why. So once I got back into the car, everything looked like it was doing well. I was like, "Yeah, finally, the mistake I did wasn't that bad. Just had to believe in myself. Had to talk to somebody, but it really wasn't too bad." And I looked down at the receipt and I noticed something that wasn't quite right. I got almost all the money back. And by almost all, I mean actually all of it. I got all of it back. Now, the reason why that's a problem is because I kept 3 sodas, and I told them I kept 3 sodas. I did not lie to them in any way. In fact, to do them even more, I didn't even make the lady do the checkout. We had to scan every soda that was being taken back. And we scanned every soda, Old Dog and myself. We scanned them. So they know I kept 3 sodas. Here was the problem. Kroger had a deal going on, buy 2, get 1 free. I had bought so many sodas that I had actually had quite a few that were free. Well, when they checked them back in, they didn't take off the free sodas. They took off all the sodas that I had paid for. So technically, the three I ended up keeping were all end up being free. Yeah, that didn't sit well with me. Now, let me be real. Okay, let me be real. Some of you right now are going, yeah, Baker, and your favorite free soda. And I really did do that too, truthfully. But I didn't feel right. They helped me fix my mistake, and that they did one, and then I just let it go. That didn't sit well with me. So we had to fix that. And I can tell you we did. Truth be told, there was nothing they could do about fixing the receipt at that particular time because of the way it was done. So I did the next best thing I could think of. I just bought more stuff. I didn't get any discount on anything. I didn't complain about anything. I walked over and I bought just a bunch of stuff to try to get back. So the lesson from that one that I took from it was to remember to keep playing the cards that are dealt to you. Because just because you got a bad hand dealt to you doesn't mean the whole hand's going to turn out bad. I'm from Vegas. I've played a lot of Texas Hold'em in my life. I've won some tournaments and I've lost more than I care to admit. But I can always tell you, man, the turn and the river, those are great cards. And unfortunately, you got to pay to see them sometimes. To me, that's why we gamble. That's why we bet on ourselves and that's why we're playing. So remember, entrepreneurs out there, just because your day started off with a little bit of bad cards, doesn't mean it's always going to end that way. Keep playing the hand you're dealt. Mine turned out pretty well. Especially since I didn't tell you how I got started. Nope. See, my day should have been really bad if I'm being upfront with you and honest. I got a phone call. Good news, it wasn't as early as my beer deliveries, which anytime you're delivering beer before 6 a.m., there's something severely wrong with you. I'm sleeping. Don't do that. I got to get used to that. But today I got another phone call from the previous owner. If I'm being honest, that doesn't do well with me. It's not that the previous owner is bad or anything like that. It's just that they're the previous owner and I want them not a part of my business. How they ran things, great. How I run things, probably different. And I don't want to compare it. So I'm trying to get them out of my bar as soon as I can. And I thought we had everything pretty much taken care of, except for the phone call I got this morning where I found out our beer companies made a small mistake themselves. Looks like there were mistakes going around for everybody. What was this mistake they made? Well, turns out they charged the previous owners for my deliveries. I'm okay with that. Save me some money. I just thought they were being kind. It's not true. I didn't know it got charged to them. But I did definitely know after that phone call, boy, was that previous owner not overly happy. And as I told them, man, that sucks. And I said it nicely. I did, nice as I could, because I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, it does suck that that happened, but come on, that's a change that can be made. And let's be real, they have money. Dude, they own like 4 businesses. They have money. So it's not like they were hurting or made them broke or anything like that. It didn't put them out anything. They just need to get it fixed. And I'm sure the companies can fix it. I say sure because I don't know if they fixed it yet. Long story, here we go. So I called the beer companies. I said, hey, I'm sure you got our phone call from the previous owner already. You guys are doing your thing. I'm just here to help in any way I can. Let me know. Pretty much no one talked to me today. I ain't even hear again from the previous bar owner. What happened? Well, that's the kind of a weird part. As far as I can tell, the only thing that really happened is when they switched over my name, they got all my account information. Trust me, I remember. I filled it out. I just don't think they switched it on the main account. I think it kind of got left. Now, to me, that should be an easy fix, and I say easy doesn't necessarily mean very right now. It just means easy. What do I think the answer is? Well, they're probably going to credit back the original owner, and then they're going to deduct it off mine, which makes complete sense. The only thing the owner should have to wait is probably 72 hours, roughly 72, you know, ish hours for that actually to go through. Yeah, they're out some time, but overall, nothing major. They had a relationship with these beer owners for the last, or these beer vendors for the last 2 years. This should not be that big of a deal. The previous owner disagreed. Like I said, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you take it, that was the only phone call I got from her this morning. And that's how my day got started. And yeah, I was a little worried. Crap, how has this not gone through yet? And a part of me was like, man, why didn't you catch that? Well, a little busy doing other things. True, but all my beer stuff looked right. As far as I knew, it was good. Mm-hmm. Just saying. Like you're gonna argue that someone doesn't take money out of your account. Be like, you were sure you don't want to take that? I'm not gonna do that either. Point is, it should be a rather easy fix. I am gonna call them up tomorrow morning. I've had quite a few meetings today, as you're gonna find out here, just coming up. But yeah, I mean, I think it'll be fine. Got started with that. Then I got my sodas taken care of. Here's the next thing we did. Since the sodas were right down the street from our liquor store, congratulations, everybody. We have finally picked up all of our liquor. Yay! This is where you can applause on the soundboard. Okay, part of me was hoping that Lucky was there and was going to hit that sticker because I can't hit the sticker right now, but that's okay. That's cool. That's all right. We did get the liquor. Now, here's the interesting thing. I sent this out to my family because this is 100% the truth. Those that know me, you're going to probably start laughing too. This is the first time in my life. I'm 42 years old. I'm not even going to pretend with you guys. I'm 42 years old. It's 100% the first time in my life I have ever bought $1,000 worth of alcohol and it wasn't for a party I was throwing. And the interesting part is, dude, that's not even the highest bill I've had at my home party. My wife used to tell me all the time I had to stop buying alcohol every weekend because I kept my house stocked like it was a bar. Dude, people came to my house and just walked in, grabbed a shot because we had drinks everywhere. Man, I miss those days. Wait, that's why I bought a bar. Never mind. Yeah, it's all fixed. It's all good. Hmm. So, $1,000 worth of alcohol. It has been stored. I could show you, but I don't have a mobile camera technically right now. I'll show you in the next one. Right? We'll see if we can get some cameras. That's in the main office. There's secrets in there. So, next thing we had to do. Uh, Around the bar, I can tell you that today, I, dude, I slacked my ass off. Like I was working, but I slacked my ass off compared to Old Dog today. He was around this bar. I think he did like 800 laps. It felt like 800 laps. Every time I saw him, he was just walking around the building. And the reason why is because he was working on all the cameras today. All our outside cameras, he got them all up. He's got them activated. He's got them set up on his phone and also in the manager's office, so that way everybody can see what we need to do or see what we need to see. Man, he was up and down ladders, uneven ground, taking care of that. He got I don't even know how to describe these things. They're like awning things that are outside in our back, and they were like to try to keep the sun down a little bit, but it was almost like tarp, if I'm being honest. He got those down. He got our locks fixed. There were a couple things that we heard from the inspector, so he's been running around here. He fixed a couple locks, changed some things. Like he has bust his tail today compared to me. I have slacked. What have I done instead, though? I did what I'm good at. Yeah, that's what I've done most of the day. Yap, 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 yap. My old pappy pretty much calls me a chihuahua at this point. Yeah, that's what I sound like, a yapping chihuahua. And that's actually not mean to be a bad thing. It's actually been a great thing. What I refer to is, dude, we've had people stopping at the bar all day today and just talking to us. We've had a family stop by, was hoping that they could get some food. We have a regular that lives right down the street. He's like, dude, as soon as you're open, I'm gonna be here. I had the fire chief here. I had the assistant fire chief here. I think he was like a deputy of some type of the firehouse. Like he was here. Like, and we just talking to everybody. And I'm not looking to bash anybody, but I want to let you guys know that like here's the feedback I'm getting from everyone that stops. Okay. Number one, this place wants community, family, and fire. Everyone keeps telling me. They're like, hey, 2 years ago, the pizza place that was here was the best restaurant in 30 minutes of anything. They were like, everyone used to be in here. They would wait 2 hours for a pizza. And I was like, who waits 2 hours for a pizza? Right? I grew up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza. You know what I'm saying? So that was amazing to me. I was like, okay, that's great because that's what we're gonna do. Dude, I am bringing in a family. And when I talk to them about what we're bringing in, where I'm like pool tables, big buck hunter, we're gonna put in a sound system for you. We got a sports package in here. We're gonna play movies on here. I was talking to Old Dog today. I said, hey, in our backstage, this is gonna be a perfect thing. Think this for a moment. It's fall. It's spring. We're gonna do a family movie night in our backstage area. I'm gonna split up a big old widescreen. I'm gonna put a projector over up on the top of my bar. On the bar, we're gonna have popcorn, candy. We're gonna have some soda. We're gonna actually do it like it's a movie theater, and you're gonna sit out there at the bar watching a family movie that we put out there. We're gonna have a special. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. Large pizza, pitcher of soda, like whatever. I don't know. I'm gonna figure something out, but we are definitely doing that. And I'm telling all the people like these crazy ideas I have, and they just keep getting excited. Like more and more. Like I've been saying this for the last few days, and people think I'm a little bit weird, I think, for saying it over and over, but dude, this idea is gonna work. And I know that shouldn't shock anybody. Like it definitely shouldn't shock me because it's like, well, you've put in the time, the effort, you've been working on this for years, blah 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 blah. Like, yeah, I know, but dude, it's just gonna work. You know what I mean? Like, you know how you're getting ready for something and you feel like you've put your heart and your soul into it, and you're just always waiting for the other side to fall. And maybe you don't have that. Maybe it's just me, right? But I remember so many times working on big projects, something that I'm really into, and just something didn't work right, right? And it falls through, and you, as much as it pains you, it's something that you can't necessarily keep going all the time. And so you let it go. And again, it doesn't have to be for a bad reason. Look, I'll admit it. Having kids is definitely one of those times I'm talking about. You have all these plans and then you have kids and you go, I still have plans. I just can't do those. And you change. When you make a plan and then it actually goes through, like just the way you plan it, or even better than the way you planned it, like nothing feels more gratifying. No, that's not the right word. Nothing helps you to believe in yourself more than just seeing one of your crazy ass ideas work for a little. That old cliche where you're like throwing spaghetti at a wall to seeing what sticks, and then all of a sudden something sticks, and you go, "Oh shit, that'll actually work." that's the best I can describe what I'm going through right now, feeling wise. Like, dude, I spent time, I spent money, I spent passion doing the market research in this area. You can ask my family. I drove myself nuts running numbers for months trying to figure out if this was actually going to work right. And even though I ran the numbers and I had it early, I didn't trust it. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Like, come on, there's no way this is right. How could these owners be missing it? How could this be? But I kept on. Everything I told my family this many times. Everything right now tells me not to buy this bar, dude. We're in tariff hell. My alcohol has, oh my goodness. I can tell you right now, $1,000 worth of alcohol is not going as far as it used to when I was having poker parties, dude. $1,000 of alcohol, man. There's a lot of alcohol. Now it's like 8 bottles of Patron. Just not that I bought eight. Okay, I may have bought 8 bottles of Patron, but we need them. I like Patron. It likes me. We're friends. It feels good to know that the idea is working. And one of the reasons why I was able to make this leap after so many years of just putting in all that hard work and hoping that one day this might come true. And now being this close to it, there's no better feeling. There really isn't. And as crazy as this might sound, like, dude, I remember how I felt like when my kids were born. And that's very similar to the idea of you make all these plans and you have kids and your plans just change. They're not good, they're not bad, they're not better, they're not worse, they're just different. And I feel like that because when I became a parent, I that's been the best job I've ever had in my life. It's been the most hardest job in my life. Right up there with working in a kitchen, because God, that's hard too. But I've enjoyed every moment of being a parent, and it reminds me of that type of feeling that I was able to leave my job that I had been doing for so long and able to do this not because I knew or I thought it would work, but because my family believes in me. And there's nothing better than knowing that everybody behind you, it's not fake belief. It's not like, oh yeah, he's my dad. It's gonna work, and it's not gonna work. Like I used to do. My grandpa, dude, my grandpa was bad about that. He was, man, my grandpa had the best craps plan. Like he knew craps inside and out. He knew every secret to craps, but the man was broke. You know why? Because Vegas is built on losers, not winners. And even though he had the greatest plan known to man, or at least to him, yeah, it didn't quite work. That just made me laugh thinking about that. I got to tell you some of the other good news and some of the other bad news. Most of you guys all remember we had a very important scheduled meeting today. Fire department, 6 p.m. And I told everybody I was pretty sure that it was going to go over pretty smoothly. Turns out, yeah, I was right. It went pretty smoothly. We got to do one thing. Well, it's kind of a big thing. We can't open until we do this. Tomorrow morning, I got to make a bright and early phone call to the people that run our system, especially our fire suppression system. Turns out the previous owners haven't had it checked since 2024. That was last year. That's bad. We're almost at the end of 2025. So I don't get a fine or anything like that. Just saying, not religious. If I offended anyone, won't be the last time. So no fines, but can't quite open yet. The good news is from what the police, or not the police, the fire department, and there were three people here. I expected one. I had three people, the fire department, walking through my bar, making sure it was all good. And they just told me, hey, get that fixed. Call us up when it's done. Open when you're done with that. I was like, that's it? Everything else in the bar is written off. It's all good. They're happy. They're fine with everything. They walk through it. So that's good news. Hey, play it right there. Bloop, yeah, cheer, woo. So even though we kind of didn't pass the inspection, we passed the inspection for as far as I'm concerned. Why? Because the suppression system is really easy to get tested. It shouldn't take us that long. In fact, if I call them up tomorrow, chances are good. I'm going to have them out bright and early next week. And brings me to number two reason we can't open. That is the health department. When I met with you guys last night, I was telling you guys, well, the health department hasn't gotten back to us yet. Not anymore. They're back. Bad news. Yeah, there's some bad news. The bad news is the health department is not going to come out until the 13th of November. For those of you that don't know how to read a calendar or can't find one right now, today is the 6th, or at least I think it is, depending on when you're watching this, I guess. And then that's 7 days away. Kind of depressing. Is it bad news? Nah, not really. Not really. The only thing that makes it bad is I'm gonna have to let the staff know, hey, we gotta go another week without being able to work. Now this is a small town. The reason why this could be bad news is because that means two of my members may just leave. I don't think I'm losing two of them. I talked to them today. They were here. That was another meeting I had today. And I pretty much let them know it's gonna be a little bit, and they were like, hey, we're here with you, no problem. I like them. One of them is a 14-year-old girl, by the way. She's a ninth grader, plays soccer. I I thought I was gonna only be like working my kids, but it's cool being able to legally work other kids. Can you say that live? It's legal, right? I pay them sometimes. I kid. Relax. Jeez. Don't send anybody to me. Yes. Spider, you are absolutely right. We do love Patron. I can't wait to pop that top with you. That's going to be amazing. Because those of you that don't do alcohol, dude, opening up a new bottle of pretty much anything, oh, the aroma is awesome. So, I haven't even told you the best news. I know, I should actually be upset. I've told you like three, four things that didn't quite go my way today, and whatever. I feel good. Here's the best news. Here's the best news. Ready for this? Story time. I told you that I've been talking to a lot of people both today and the last couple of days, and every single person I talk to, not only do they tell me that they want family up in here, and if we do family, that this is going to be banging. And they said absolutely, like this place used to be the epicenter of this village, and I was like, I like that. Let's do that again. Well, the place that was here before us was called Pittsburgh Pizza and Grill. And the people around here know it as PPG. PPG. Everyone keeps telling me they had the best pizza around. And unfortunately, when they left, everybody had to start going to these other surrounding cities. They're like 20, 30 minutes away. So they have to leave and go out and get all these food or have some fun or drinks or whatever it is that they're doing. And so, missing opportunity. Well, I've been trying to figure out how to get a hold of the pizza. Because if everyone in this town keeps telling me that that pizza was absolutely the best, I would be foolish. Let me rephrase. I would be fucking stupid to not do that. Now, why did I get passionate on that? Because I found out some horrible news today. I know I told you this was a good news section, and yet I'm saying that I found out horrible news. It's so confusing. Well, here's part of the good news. I only say part because the whole story is the whole part. But part of it is I told you there were three people that showed up for the fire inspection. Well, the third person that showed up was rather intriguing. He was rather young, not that I cared about it, but it became a huge part of the story. Turns out, yeah, he's the grandson of the owners of Pittsburgh Pizza and Grill. And he used to work in this bar from the time that he was 10 years old until he was approximately 16. He knew things about this bar that he was able to tell me stories as we were walking through, and I was like in hog heaven. Dude, he was telling me about how much pizza and food they used to pump out of here. How much fun people would come in here and just enjoy being around. And he's walking through the kitchen. He goes, "Hey, I'm not here to tell you how to run your things, but a couple recommendations on how we did it." And he was literally just giving me the lowdown. Now, I said that was part of the good news. And I also said I got some really horrible news. And so let's get it. The grandson loves the idea of what we're doing. And in fact, he said, "I would love to get you in touch with my grandparents, which own this store or own this bar for over 20 years." And I was like, "I'd love to get a hold of him." He goes, "There's a problem." I was like, "Really?" "Probably just want to get out of the business, right?" And he goes, "No, not really." He goes, "When the new people, the previous owners right before me, when they came in, they pretty much scrapped everything. You remember when I got a little bit passionate about being fucking stupid for not keeping the things that worked really well before you took over? They scrapped almost everything. They like literally, what's the word I'm looking for? They alienated the community. They had nothing for kids. And this is not my words. I want to make it very clear. These are not my words. This is all the feedback I'm getting from the town. So even if the old owners are watching this and they're like, "How dare he say all those things?" First of all, not my problem. You screwed up your marketing. Second, I'm not bad mouthing you. I'm just telling you what the people around town are saying. Okay? So, talking with the grandson, I was like, "Well, they what do you mean that they didn't like take anything?" He goes, "Here's what happened. My grandma and grandfather actually offered the new owners to just give them any help that they wanted, even offered the pizza type ideas." And according to the grandson, he goes, when they were at the meeting, he goes, he didn't know the name of the person, he didn't remember. He goes, but one of them stood there and went, "It's just fucking pizza." That was literally what he said. I know. And I looked at the grandson, I went, "I'm sorry, what?" He goes, "Yeah, that's what he said." I'm like, "You're standing in the bar that made a ton of money, made everyone in this town happy, and you just pretty much pissed on it." Yeah, I can see why the town was a bit unhappy with the previous owners. Again, that's not me trashing, that's me saying what the people have said. So, that was the most horrible news I'd heard all day. I can't believe someone was so arrogant, so disrespectful. Like, what was wrong with just listening to him? Even if you didn't use the pizza ideas, what's wrong with just listening? Whatever. So I continued talking with the grandson, and he said, "If I'm gonna be honest, Grandma probably will answer any question you have. But getting Grandpa on board, probably not." And I said, "Thank you." And then I looked at him and I said two more words that my family probably already expected me to say. And there were two more words that I knew had to be said. And anyone that knows me knows they're coming. You ready? What were the two words that I said? Challenge accepted. Because I told the grandson, I said, "You know what? That just means he's disrespected. We just got to give the respect back." And I have no problems with that. So I can't wait till I earn that respect from him. And I hope that one day he'll step foot back in this bar and give us just a little bit of hope. Because I want to return it back to the way it used to be. And he gave me The grandson, he gave me his grandmother's number and he goes, "Why don't you call her?" And I went, "I can't call her right now. It's like 9 o'clock at night. I can't call her right now." He goes, "She's up." And I went, "Out of respect, I'm going to wait until tomorrow." Because I don't want to call too late. Like, it makes me feel weird. All right. So I'm like, out of respect, let me call tomorrow. He goes, "What I'll do is I'll let her know to expect your call." I went, "Hey, I appreciate the warm transfer. That I will take. And I will speak with her tomorrow about it." So, ladies and gentlemen, the best news I got today, I found the pizza. I absolutely found what put this place on the map. Now we just got to build up the relationship. And I've been a coach and a boss and a leader, a teacher, a manager. I've been all these wonderful titles throughout my entire career. I've always said that to be a great leader, you have to know how to put your people and their strengths to work. Relationships are my strength. So I have no doubt I'm going to earn that respect. And it might take me a year, it might take me 10. I don't care. Challenge accepted. I'm getting that. So, Stream Team, you can put that clock on. We'll make it run. How long does it take us to get it? We'll start putting up bets up on the board. What's the over under on how long it takes Calypso to actually get what the old recipes used to be? I can't wait to see it. And I definitely am accepting that challenge. It is coming. And if I were you, when you place your bet, take the under. Dude, I'm like a virus. I'll wear your ass down. Talk to my family, especially my wife. Yeah. So, did I get all my work done today? No. Hell no. There's actually a few things I still need to do. I'm not even done with my list. You ready? My TVs, I didn't finish my TVs today. I wanted to. Here's what I got to do. I just got to finish putting up my new sports package boxes. I went out to the store. I got some double-sided tape. I'm going to put them on the very back of them. That's really all I got to do. Finish hooking them up. Why aren't they done? Dude, I had like several meetings. Several meetings today. I didn't even tell you the one about the staff members. I got to catch you up on that one. Okay. That shouldn't take me too much longer, so I'm gonna get that done tomorrow. That's on my docket. My sports package, I got to double check with them, make sure that we finally got everything all up and running. Looks like everything's good, but I like to call and make sure, especially with the bar issue, or sorry, the beer issue we had this morning where we were not being charged and the other person was. So I'm just going to double check, make sure everything's set up on that, but that should be pretty easy. And here's the thing. I know at least one of my managers are on here, and I sent a message to my managers yesterday and I said, "Hey, I need you guys to do research on this because this is what I would like to do and I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing." And that's why I love my managers because they keep me where I need to be. I get a lot of crazy ass ideas and I need someone to bring me down to earth and I need someone to be able to be like, "Yep, we can do that. Let's run with it." And that's who I am. And so my managers, I was like, "Guys, I need you to figure it out. Should we go ahead and get this additional sports package?" And I'm like, "I definitely want it. Here's all the good reasons why I want it." And my managers, I'm gonna be upfront with you. Both of my managers, they're not sports people. Nah, my wife really can't stand sports. She tolerates football because that's my religion, and she knows that discriminating against religion is against the law. And the judges that she is going to have to deal with would not be kind. So she kind of tolerates football for me. She knows that basketball is my love, but I've always been really busy to be able to get into basketball like I want to because there's so many freaking games. But I own a bar now, so I get to legally watch. Well, not legally, but that's my job is to watch. My point is, they're not sports fans. So I asked my managers, should I go ahead and get this? Does this make sense money wise? Well, managers, I know you guys are probably watching and listening because you guys have been doing that lately. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. It's not that I didn't want your opinion. I do, and I know actually both of you guys were like, "Yeah, whatever you want to do, it makes sense. You're the one that likes sports. What do we care?" Um, yeah, we're gonna do it, and here's why. Again, everyone I keep talking to, guys, or not just guys. I'm talking to women too. So get up off my back. All right. I just happen to use guys because I'm a general type of person. Get up off my back. Okay. So I'm like, hey guys, what kind of sports? If I put sports up in here, you guys gonna come and watch? And dude, everyone's like, what kind of sports? And I started explaining. I'm like, well, I mean, Sunday Ticket just kind of seems like the obvious one, right? And everyone's like, yeah, we can watch football. They're like, dude, no one else really plays football around here. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? He goes, yeah, you got to drive like 30 minutes to go to a bar to watch a football game or something like that. I'm like, cool. That's what I expected. I said, what about college? Saturdays. And they're like, oh man, everybody around here loves college. We follow this, we follow that. And I was like, okay, college. Well, that's the additional sports package that I'm talking about getting, is that college thing. But there's one more thing about it. See, the part I've been doing research on is ESPN Plus, specifically Disney Plus. I hate paying Disney. Why? Because they're not the happiest place on earth. Don't let them lie to you. Don't buy into that. They are not the happiest place on earth. How do I know they're not the happiest? Look at their prices. They're not the happiest place on earth. Oh my goodness. Now I'm not a huge fan of paying Disney because they're a multi-billion-dollar company that doesn't need more money and they keep thinking they do. But unfortunately, they partnered with ESPN, which is a very important sports package. And why is it an important sports package? Because ESPN partnered with, you guessed it, UFC and the MMA. And that's pretty much the only place you can really get PPV fights legally. So that's what we've had to do. So we can actually now, with that bigger sports package, not a lot more money. It is more money, but not a lot more. We now get our fights, which the people around here are like, oh man, you're going to stay up late and actually let us watch the fights. And I went, let you? Dude, I'm going to charge you. And they go, that's awesome. And I went, glad you see it the way I do. We're going to have MMA fights and they don't get over till like 1 a.m. in the morning, right? We got Saturday football. We got Sunday football. We got Thursday football. Here's something that the grandson told me that I now have to make changes to. And I mean, I'm going to make changes to. The grandson informed me the biggest piece of advice he could give me. He goes, you probably don't know this yet, but in all the surrounding areas, within that 30-minute radius, every pizza place, every bar is closed on Monday. And I went, is that figuratively? Are you like generally speaking? Or do you mean? He goes, no, all of them. Guess what? We're now going to be open on Mondays. Why? You should rewind the last 10, 15 seconds because I just told you. Easy, free money. We're the only ones open. Where are you going to go? If that wasn't good enough news, which again, getting the sports package because of that, I started telling them about the high school package that I have. I used to be a high school football, basketball, baseball coach, blah, 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 blah. Old times. Used to be an old coach. And I like to watch my old teams. Yeah, I'm actually going to give a shout out real quick. Heritage Timberwolves, Vancouver, Washington. I've watched every game this season. I'm very proud of you guys. What a way! What a turnaround. I say this jokingly, but at the same time, I'm gonna say it with a little bit of fun. Like the best thing that happened is me leaving. Holy crap! Look at you guys. I'm really proud. Again, I mean it as a joke. I know I got students watching, previous students watching. Hey, you know what I mean by it. Like I'm so proud. I'm glad to see it. I know they've had a couple of weeks that have been a little tough, but man, it's been a long road and you guys deserve it. So shout out to Heritage, Timberwolves, Vancouver, Washington. Proud. Keep it up, guys. Um, but going back to my story, I was telling everybody that I've been talking to, I said, hey, I've got this high school package. So you know you're when you've got your kids and they're out playing whatever sport they play, cross country or soccer or tennis or whatever. All those cameras are up in the school, like every school in the country. And if you pay in FHS, you can watch every freaking game across the country. And that's how I've been paying attention to my old teams. Well, I described this to all the other people and I said, now imagine you get to watch your kid playing, but you're right here at the bar. You don't have to go to the away games because you couldn't make it for whatever reason. And everybody has said the exact same thing. They go, wait, we can do that? Dude, I'm not a fisherman, but say it with me. Hook, line, sinker. That's all I'm saying. Sports package is going to be huge. So, managers, yeah, that's getting paid for. Just letting you know. All right. So, we're going to be open on Mondays. We got to get prepared for that. That means to start things off, we're going to go 5 days a week. And that means we are not going to be closed Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I've been planning Monday and Tuesday. I have been. True. True. And obviously, what I was planning was pretty accurate because everybody else had the exact same plan. So you can see I'm drawing from the exact same playbook. Again, it's so relieving to know that when you've put in that time, that effort, that passion, and to see it work is so relieving. That's the best way I can word it. And yet again, yep, another example. Only difference is I got people sitting around just thinking shit up. And it turns out we kind of like money a little bit because we need money to do more community things. So we'll be open on Mondays. Tuesdays and Wednesdays will be our off days. That's bad news. Why is that bad news? Because those are the freaking 2 days that I get deliveries. So why is that bad? You'd actually think that'd be good. I don't have to deal with anybody in my way, so on and so forth. I get to put everything away. Don't have to worry about prep cooks getting into it while I'm trying to put it away or anything like that. Like it should be easy peasy. So why would I be worried about Tuesday and Wednesday? That means I gotta work Tuesday and Wednesday. Ain't nobody else working. Somebody's gotta put all that shit away, right? And before you say, well, that's what you have staff for, I I'm not gonna pay them overtime to go put that stuff away. The possibility, if I keep building the relationship with my delivery drivers, which I have been this week, they might just put it quote unquote away for me. What I mean by that is stuff that I need to go on my dry storage, they just leave it in my dry storage. And if it needs to go into my walk in, they take it to the walk in, drop in the walk in. I'll put it away once we get there. But I just need it to stay cold until I get back. If I can get my delivery drivers to do that, yeah, I go back to giving it to my employees. Still weird saying my employees, by the way. It's also weird keep saying the words my employees and you're referring to your own kids. Legally indentured servitude. I know indentured servitude is technically legal anyway, but well, yeah, we won't get into that. Never mind. Let's cross that off. Just saying. Um, I get to make them work. Yeah. And you know that age old thing about kids where they're like, oh, yeah, I would gladly do that if I just got money. You're a liar. And anybody right now saying, no, seriously, I would do that if you. I have two of my staff members coming in. You remember I told you I had a staff meeting? Let me tell you about that real quick. I called in one of my waitress and my youngest staff member. She's 14, ninth grader at a local school around here. Got to meet her for the first time. A lot of fun. Can't wait to work with her. So I had them come in because I wanted to double check my point of sale system, my POS, make sure that it was still working. So I figured if she just ran through an order, I could see things that happen. And then if the order goes through, I can make sure that everything works. So just kind of like a soft opening, so to speak, just to run and make it good. While they were here, since the youngest one works in the kitchen, I look straight at her and I go, all right, be truthful with me. When is the last time the closing, all the things you do for closing, which is written on a wall, by the way, when's the last time that was done? And she goes, never. Okay. Now, why does this baffle me? Two major reasons. Number one, the sanitary problems that that's causing. If you are not cleaning at the end of every shift, oh my goodness gracious, you're putting so many people at risk. Don't do that, especially for something stupid. And what bothered me and made me ask that question is the fact is, as I walk through that kitchen, I look at it and go, this is one of the worst kitchens I'm like, this is bad. Now, I need to rephrase. It's actually not one of the worst kitchens. I've been in some really bad kitchens. This kitchen's just got some, you need about an hour or two to clean it up. Actually do clean it up, but you're gonna need a few more hours to do a right clean, like a deep clean. But I looked at my little cook and I said, all right, but I need to be honest with you. When you guys get back to work, that's got to get clean, and it's got to get clean now. And she goes, thank you. And I went, what? What do you mean, thank you? And I found out that there's been a little bit of issues, some rebelling, so to speak, from the staff. Now, again, if any of the staff members happen to catch this and watch this is not me bashing on you. This is the rumors coming around. So if you don't like that, that means the perception that you're giving off is not overly great, and it's up to you to change that. Now, with that being said, I take every story that there are three sides: your side, their side, and the actual truth. So even though I may hear things that are necessarily bad, it doesn't mean I believe all of it to be true. I usually look for some sort of reasoning that's caused it. Right? So if you are watching this as a current employee, please know I'm not holding it against you. I just expect you to fix it. Now, the second reason this has caused me a problem, my lead cook. My lead cook tells me he wants more money because he wants to be a manager. And I highly recommend you guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to day two. Go back to day two and take a look at that one. Because man, did he said some things that I had to be a boss, meaning I had to be nice and say things in a more appropriate way than the way I really wanted to respond. But the gist of it is this: he is expecting to get the money before the job. And if I'm being honest, I understand that from an employee perspective. I just don't agree with it. I grew up and believe that, and taught, by the way, no doubt any of my previous students can attest to this. My family can attest to this. You do the job today that you want tomorrow. And I'm not going to pay you before I see that you can actually do the job. Now, I reached out to my lead cook and I said, hey, you keep telling me you want to be a manager, but I don't see you doing any of the manager things. You don't have your manager certificates. You don't do any of the ordering. You literally give ultimatums. Like, why would I pay you to be a manager? And on top of it, look at your kitchen, dude. It's disgusting. If you're a manager and your kitchen is fucking disgusting, get out. Don't hurt people just because you're lazy. I care about this stuff. So that bothers me. Now, again, I haven't heard his side of the story. But if I'm being honest, when my brother gets here, which is the manager of the back of the house, if that place ain't clean, that whole staff being fired. And why am I saying that? Because they have about 6 weeks to get that shit done. 6 weeks. And just so we're clear, I haven't finished telling you about the story of why the staff was here. So by the end of it, when I was telling my staff members that it needs to be deep cleaned, I looked at my 14-year-old and I said, "Hey, what are you doing after school tomorrow?" And she goes, "I got nothing planned." I went, "How would you like to make some money?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm always up for making money." I went, "I love to hear that. Here's what we can do. You want to come in after school and clean the kitchen?" That's where she works. "You're working, you're on the clock." And she goes, "Okay, I can do that." I went, "No, no, no, no. I mean, I want it cleaned. I want stuff moved. I want it pulled out. I want it swept. I want it mopped. I want it clean." And she goes, "I can do that." And I asked her that in front of her mom. I didn't even ask her mom to come in, which, by the way, also works for me. Great lady, great family. I enjoy talking to her. By the end of the conversation, we kept talking for a little bit, but by the end of it, I looked at both of them and I said, "Hey, if you guys would like, you want to come in, the mom has another job." I said, "If you want to come in after your other job, bring your daughter, and if you guys will clean in the back for me, make sure it's all good to go because we got a health inspection coming, which I got to tell you about. If you guys clean, you'll be on the clock, you get paid for it." And both of them are like, "Yeah, absolutely, we'll come in." And they both were thanking me, like, "We're glad you're cleaning this place." And I was like, "Well, you're cleaning it, but yeah, sure." uh, it's pretty bad when you have staff members who are going, "Thank God for doing the right thing." Which brings me to my next concern. This was the second worst news that I had heard today. The second worst news that I heard. Hey, let me stop real quick. Shout out. What do we got? Is that KNLG or sorry, KNLJBGU? I feel like I'm on a radio station. That's amazing. Dude, know what? I hope I got all that right. Welcome for the follow. Welcome to Calypso's Lounge. Hey, we're on bar style. So if you've got any bar tips, if you're getting one set up, or if you just want to know what it's like to get going, we welcome you. Right now, we got some stories I'm telling you about the day. Let us know how we can make you smile. All right. Welcome. So let's get back to it. Second worst news that I heard today. I was talking to the mom, my waitress, and she's learning how to be behind the bar. And she asked me, she goes, "What is your what's your policy on carding people?" And I went, "As often as I can." And she just kind of looks at me, and I went, "Look, my rule is this. If they look like they're less than 35 years old, I want you to card them. And if anyone has a problem with being carded, dude, I'm walking around or I'm sitting at a booth somewhere, just flag me over. I'll gladly talk to them. Because all I'm doing is trying to make sure they're safe. And if they have a problem with that, well, I'd love to talk to you about it. Love to see what we can do about compromising it. But the one thing I won't compromise is putting you at risk. I just won't do it, right? So why is that bad news? Well, it turns out, shockingly, I asked my bartender, I said, "Hold up, before you answer anything." I said, "You've been learning how to be behind the bar?" And she goes, "Yes." I said, "Okay. Can you tell me what goes into this drink?" And she admitted she's new. And she goes, "I'd have to look it up, but I believe it's this." I was like, "Hey, no problem. Tell me how you pour it." And she goes, "Well, when we pour drinks, hold up. Before I say this next part, Spider, do me a favor, because I know you're there. Do this for me." Yeah. All right, did you do it? Okay, good. Now that she's done that, she won't hear this next part. My waitress goes, "Well, that's depends on the drink, but mainly what we do is we pull them up and we start counting. We have 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000. And then you got 2, 3 seconds on your pours. And she goes, well, it's normally three, but then some of the drinks are four. And I go, okay. And she goes, well, some of them are, getting over poured. And I went, sounds like all of them are being over poured. And she kind of looked at me and I said, hold up. I said, I don't want to be rude here with you. So I'm going to ask you a question. And I brought out this book. Now, this book, as you can see, is supposed to be some like cocktail recipes, right? And I'm not going to flip through every single page or anything, but if you look at them, they're just drink recipes. And no, I'm not showing you any freaking secrets, dude. You can Google all these drinks. It's not overly hard, okay? That and they're not my drinks. They're the last people's drinks. But anyway, I'm like, hold up. I want you to look in this book for a moment. She's looking at the book, and I said, I want you to flip to the next page. And she flips to the next page. I said, do you see all the ingredients that go into these drinks? And she goes, yeah. Why? And I went, do you see anywhere on those instructions where it says 3 second pours, 2 second pours, 4 second pours? She goes, no. I went, what do you see? And she goes, it says like 2 ounces, 1.5 ounce. And I went, yeah. You know why? Because anything over those, you are legally causing a problem. And she looked at me and goes, thank God. She goes, we have overpoured people all the time. She goes, I had this one guy in here. He looked like he was a kid and I carded him. And the bartender comes over and says, nah, he's okay. And I went, that will never fucking happen again at my bar. And if I got any kids in here, I apologize for the language. I've been using a lot more language tonight than I normally do. But that's my passion coming out. That's the truth on that, right? But my thing is, if if you look under 35, I'm gonna card you, and I'm gonna card you every damn time. I don't care that I know you. I live in a small village of less than 300 people. If you're a kid in here and you do something stupid, not only am I gonna know you, I'm gonna know your mom, your dad, your grandparents who live right down the street. They come in here probably 2, 3, 4 times a week. Dude, you're not getting away with anything in a small town like this. So I'm not overly worried about anything like that. Holy goodness. Ah, gotcha. Larger audiences. No, I agree with you. Actually, we're working on building it up, but I do appreciate the offer, and I'm all about community. So I always look everyone up, and I appreciate what you guys are offering. Good on you. I get what it is. I used to teach people to do the exact same thing. Just know that we do a lot of our work here on our own. Not that we have any disrespect to anybody. It's just we're slowly building this up. But I do see your information. My stream team, we're going to take a look at it, and I appreciate you. Stay in here. Give me any tips that you have. That's what we do it for. So thank you kindly. But yeah, there were definitely some happy patrons, and I continued talking with her, and I was like, tell me about some more of these pours and things like that. And she told me about this one guy who lived right next door. And I said lived because unfortunately he has recently passed. He died of a heart attack. And I was very sad to hear that. Absolutely. And apparently she had a pretty good relationship with the guy. And she was upfront. She goes, I'll be honest with you. I overpoured him a couple times, meaning I gave him more drinks than maybe he needed. And she goes, but here's the thing. He didn't drive anywhere. He was in his little slippers and in his pajamas, and he'd shuffle over there because he was elderly. And he'd have a drink or two. So to him, like that was not necessarily overpouring, but that was over serving. And it was okay because they helped him get over. And I was like, first of all, I get you being defensive. You don't have to explain anything to me, but I get it and I appreciate it. And honestly, I can see why you would do that. He literally lives across the street. But the story that she told about someone who fell flat on their face right outside the bar on the concrete, the story she told about someone who had throw up literally on them and then got into their car and drove away. Dude, that's illegal. And you should be ashamed. You are putting people's life on the line. And I'm not talking about a bar owner and his career or anything like that. I'm talking about people in their lives. Anything can happen. And it needs to start with us looking after each other. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're an old patron and you're catching this, if you're an old staff member and you're catching this, or if you're a new patron, if you're looking to even think about coming into the Tin Roof Tavern, look, we want you to have fun, but we want you to be safe. And most importantly, I want you to be able to get home. So if you come in here and you have a good time, and I mean you have a very good time, we're going to take care of you. And it's going to start by stop pouring your drinks. We're going to give you some water. Shit, I might even give you some food. But we're going to stop pouring the drinks. And we hope you don't hate us. We hope that in the end you'll understand that we are doing this to keep you safe and keep you home with your family because that's important to us. But if you are a previous staff member and you're watching this, that shit stops now. Don't bring it back in here. We ain't doing that no more. Because the difference between the old owners and me, first of all, they didn't stay here very often. I'm going to be here every damn day. And I care about my community, even though I haven't been here too long yet. I plan on building a lot in here, which means I do care about this community. And I want to make sure they're safe. So that stops now. In fact, the 3 people that I had, the fire department that came in and visited with us, dude, our fire inspection was so freaking easy. It was done in like 5 minutes. We sat for an hour and a half chit-chatting about stupid bullshit. And that's exactly what this bar is. It's family. It's a place that you can come together, like-minded people, share some ideas, disagree, and still walk away liking each other. Still walk away loving each other. This is why I'm so glad that I'm taking my family with me, because they understand these things and they believe it just as much as I do. I have no doubt Spider's probably pissed off right now. No doubt. And the best thing I can tell her and to everybody else, shit's changing. I ain't worried. We'll be just fine. All right. Here's what I got to do tomorrow. Really? Not much. I got to call my beer companies one more time and make sure that they've updated all the beer information. I told you guys in the very beginning that's how my day got started. Previous owner being Billed. We're going to bring that to an end tomorrow, make sure that that's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the biggest problem coming up, and it's not necessarily tomorrow, it's the weekend. What's the biggest problem? Well, we live in Ohio. I don't know where you are, but winter season kicks off around January. Snow season kicks off right about now. There's actually a chance for snow in the area. And truth be told, you've heard me say it on the bar here a couple times. I know this is day 5. I've said it a couple times, and I've definitely said it to my family quite a bit. We just need to get through the winter season this winter. We do that, we're going to be fine. After all my talks that I've been having with the town lately, the fire chief, the assistant, and so on, turns out in this nice little village, dude, they don't let weather stop them. They've informed me there's a whole lot of 4-wheelers, snowmobiles, and people that just love still coming here. Now they used to. They don't quite anymore, but they used to, and we are damn sure changing that. And in fact, I originally made a bet with Old Dog, and I said, how long do you think it's going to take for us to get our name out there? I said by the end of the winter, we'll be just fine. Spring, we'll roll into it. Everyone's going to know our name. We're going to have so many things change, our pool tables, our dartboards, everything like that. It's going to be just absolutely magnificent. Well, I don't mean to jinx it or anything, but I don't think it's going to take till the end of to the inner winter. Dude, these people are excited now. They're talking now to each other. They've already spread out the news that I posted to my staff because I've also found out that my staff has a secret problem. Although I gave them information, someone in my staff decided to pass that around to some other people because they were able to tell me things they shouldn't have known yet. That's okay. That don't make me upset. That tells me what I need to know about you and your character. It tells me if I can trust you. So, I ain't too worried about that either. We'll deal with that problem. Now, Frozen, my man, I see you in there. Just wanted to come in and say hi. I'm streaming currently. Progress is going well. I'm going to watch the VODs on YouTube tonight. Hey, I appreciate you, Frozen. What are you streaming, man? I got to get over and see. Hold on. Let me take a look. What are we streaming today, Frozen? Is it Pokemon? Oh, oh. Oh, Legend ZA Pokemon. Look at that. Yeah. Nailed it. Dude, have a great stream. I'm gonna try to get everybody over there if I can, my friend. I'm just getting ready to wrap up. Really, enjoy your stream. I'm gonna catch you here in just a few minutes, man. See, this is what I'm talking about, family, dude. He's doing his thing, and he still came in and just said hi. I love Frozen. Uh, yeah. So we're gonna make sure that we take care of the beer payments tomorrow. We've got to do. I got my beer line guy coming in, and what I mean by that is he's gonna come in, clear out all my drafts, make sure that my lines are good to go. But here's the last part that I got to tell you. It was supposed to be hopefully good news, and it still kind of is. Health inspector did finally get back to me, and we have a date. Finally, we have a date. Yeah, here's the bad news. Health inspector's not coming out until the 13th. 7 days. I know I told you guys a little bit about that, but I want to catch you back up. So we have two things we got to do. The fire inspection is done, but we got to call our fire suppression system tomorrow morning, get them out here, just double check it one more time. Shouldn't be too hard. And then we have the health inspection on Thursday. There is a possibility because the health inspection is about 1:30 p.m. We might be able to open at 5 that night, but what I'm going to be planning is the 14th of November. Isn't that 1 week before Thanksgiving? Gotta love timing. Gotta love timing, man. Going back to the beginning, play the cards that are dealt to you, right? Never know. The turn and the river could always be your friend. And sometimes you gotta pay to see the cards. So that's what we're gonna do. 2 weeks? All right, 2 weeks for Thanksgiving. That gives me a lot of look. Either way, we're okay. So we got 1 week away from potentially opening next Thursday. When I give you guys my update, I should be telling you either one of two things. Dude, there's people in the bar and we're live, or we're going live on the following day. That's my hope. That's our new hope. So everybody circle it on your calendars. If I can speak, circle it on your calendars. Don't make fun of the kid that can't read. November 14th. November 14th. All right. Here's the good news. Bar number is fixed. Frozen. I know you're busy today, but we can absolutely bring back Calypso's Lounge and live phone calls. That's right. Phone number is actually working. We got it confirmed. And from what I remember, if I'm correct, Stream Team will be able to correct me on this. We have actually getting a post or posted something on Facebook about these updates, including the phone number. That should all be coming out right now. If it hasn't already, I need to double check. But it will be out here in the next few minutes. If you guys would like, I know you're not in the area right now, but if you would like, what we're going to do, Stream Team, if we can, let's put the link down there for 10 Roof Tavern in the Facebook page. Please follow it, not because it gives us anything special, but just because you're wanting to watch how we grow it, right? I would love to hear your opinions. Give us some love, give us some hate, give us some tips, whatever you want to do. But follow the Facebook, and then you'll see the updates that we got coming out, right? This town is anxious, and we coming. Just be patient with us. That's the biggest thing. We are coming, but you got to be patient. I can get you a monkey balls call. Woo! All right, all right. You know I'm down. You know I'm always down. So while you're doing that, everybody, you know what time it is. Yeah, that's right. It's hell hydrate time. That means we're getting close to sign off. So here's what you need to do. As I'm getting ready here for my shot that I have with you guys every single night, I want you to get something ready to drink. I don't care what it is. It can be moonshine, water, soda, your favorite whiskey, tequila, Kool-Aid, or it could be a hit off of a pen because you love some weed. I don't care what you're doing. But we do it together as a family because we always want to bring it in. So, Spider of the Stream Team just confirmed Facebook post is absolutely in the works. It is including the new number, so you guys should be able to see that here in the next, 30-ish minutes, give or take. He's making, hey, no problem. No problem. We got it going. You'll see the new number. You guys will be able to call. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow night, maybe another night after that. Doesn't matter. But yeah, absolutely, we'll get that working. I just wanted to let you guys know we did get that number all fixed up, and you guys will see that Facebook post. So I'm excited for that. Get your drinks. Here we go. Also, got to tell you something very interesting. I found out my fire department, they love Michelob Ultra. Turns out I have that shit on tap. All right. Poison, what do you got? This episode brought to you by Tin Roof Tavern and Jägermeister. When you need to get absolutely fucked up, except no substitute. Except for maybe tequila. Yeah, there's that sticker now. Pour the glass. Oh, old dog reminded me of something important. I need someone to do some research on this. Here's what I found out. Turns out the fire trucks up in this village are green. Does anyone know why they use green fire trucks? Is there a reason for it, or they just like green? Because I asked them and they went, because green's the favorite color. And I went, that can't really be the answer, right? It might be. I'm just curious. But that was the one thing that the grandson, the one that actually used to own this place and work here for 6 years, he said that's the only request that he had. He goes, as long as we follow this one request, we pass our fire inspection. I was like, dude, what is it? He goes, don't make fun of our lime green fire trucks. And I went, hold on, you have lime green fire trucks? Yeah, John Deere green be kind of nice too. I get it. It's farmer country, right? That kind of makes sense. All right, where's your glass at? Now, first of all, for anybody that dares look at me and go, wait a minute. I've been watching your glass for the last 5 days. Hold up. I've been watching your glass for the last 5 days, and your glass keeps getting full and full and full every time you go to drink. So don't tell me, Mr. Calypso man, that you do not believe in 2, 3, 4 second pours. Here's what I would tell you. When you own the bar, you make the fucking rules. Now, raise your glasses. Since none of y'all want to do the toast like usual, I got this one. All right. In all seriousness. Ladies and gentlemen, here's my toast to you. May you keep your family close. Love them every day. Remind them every day. And when I say keep your family close, I'm not talking about blood. Frozen is my family, and I'm not talking about blood. So everybody, this is Calypso's Lounge. We love you here, and we're glad you're here. To family, skål. That's good. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host with the most. You know me. Shit, I'm your bow with the flow. May the stars, may the stars light your path. May the wind blow your way. On behalf of Calypso's Lounge, we out of here. Have a good evening, everybody. Check out these beats from Notorious.